Hello everybody, my name is Samson the Dachshund. Please be sure to subscribe to my dad's YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button below this video. Be sure to also go ahead and put your little paw onto that bell icon so you guys can be notified whenever my dad makes more content. Please be sure to enjoy this battle report, and me or my brother Ragnar will greet you in the next video. Have a good one, happy wargaming, bye bye. Hey guys, Cody here, Venomous Wargaming, back at you guys with another battle report. I'm here today with Ed. Ed's off camera because Ed doesn't want to be tracked by the CIA, NSA, and FBI. Just kidding, but he doesn't want to appear on camera. So Ed is the guy that I just fought in the last battle report of the Maggotkin of Nurgle, and we're having a good old-fashioned rematch. The problem with the last video was FedEx didn't manage to deliver the Battletome here in time or carry an Empire. For some reason, they didn't show up at the shop, so Mike had to call back, and they had to redistribute that whole process and try and run it back out to us. So by the time that Ed had got here, we only had a couple hours to record, so I had to start the battle without the Battletome anyways. That's why I was so disorganized in the beginning, because I didn't even have the Battletome. I was going off the Warhammer community articles that they published with the few rules that it did have. So now that the book is actually here, I'm recording this on Monday, the 2 days after the Battletome has officially released. So now I know everything. So I just real quick want to say that in the comment sections, you guys really need to be more courteous and polite, especially to Ed. Now, if you guys want to tear into people about rules, go for it, but be polite about it. The more rude you are to people, the harder it makes it for them to want to come back, and the harder it becomes for me to find opponents to record with. So if you guys could relax on that, that'd be great. But anyways, big shout out to Cody Torok. He's a good friend of mine here locally. He is a former Marine just like I am, though we never served together. He was in much earlier than I was. I was in from 2012 2017. He was in way before that, back when dinosaurs were still running around, and I think when we were still in Iraq. So, anyways, so he donated a Abhorrent Archregent to the channel, so now I have 2. I'm not going any more than 2, so you can stop with those cheesy lists where you're like, take 6 Archregents. I guarantee you that's going to get FAQ'd, and that's BS. Anyways, so thank you, Cody, for that. And I know it's kind of funny to have 2 Codys, and we're both local and we're both former Marines, so that's always funny for us. But then big shout out to Simon as well. Simon was literally just in the room a moment ago, and Simon just donated a little bit of Idoneth Deepkin to the channel, which is great because could always use more Idoneth Deepkin when people aren't crying in the comment section about me running eels and, you know, electrocuting people to death. I'm not going to run infantry. So that's that. So yeah, if you guys are donating to us on Patreon and stuff like that, your name's going to pop on the screen right now. So thank you guys so much for all the donating support and all the love and support you guys do grant the channel. As it is only me by myself, it is hard to do this all alone and juggle personal things at home, like the family and painting and all this other stuff, and I really appreciate it, guys. So with that being said, I'm going to turn right back around and we're going to jump straight into this battle report. It is Gristlegore again today, and you guys are going to see the full might of that list, and it's going to be awesome. So I'll see you guys in just a moment. Alrighty, everybody, here we go with 1,900 points of Flesh Eater Courts in the Grand Court of Gristlegore. So this is by far my favorite Grand Court so far, and the only one I played with so far. I haven't tried the other ones yet because I was just so enamored with this. I absolutely love low model count Flesh Eater Courts other than the unit of ghouls. Ignore them. But it feels very unnatural to have a majority of my points put into 4 things. So, yeah, I absolutely love the idea of zombie dragons and terrorgeists being battle line. So anyways, moving on with 1,900 points, that gives me 2 bonus command points. So I also get another command point for starting the game like that, so 3, and then I get an additional command point for running a battalion, the battalion being Royal Menagerie, which is consisted of 2 Terrorgeist and 1 Zombie Dragon. My general for the day is going to be an Abhorrent Ghoul King on Zombie Dragon. He's standing here looking all cockeyed because I don't want them to clash wings together, because we all know what happens when that happens, and models break and just disastrous. My other hero is my fully painted Abhorrent Archregent. So I painted him this morning before I recorded, and this being Monday. And that is that. Which, by the way, guys, I'm trying to get 4 videos out a week of just AOS. And I mean like 1,000 to 2,000 point battle reports. I'm going to be working on more stuff in the background that I'm not going to talk about right now because spoilers. And I want to surprise you guys because I'm going places and doing things. Anyways, so the rest of the army is my 2 Terrorgeist and Zombie Dragon for battle line, and then a 20-man unit of ghouls for battle line as well. And that rounds me out at 1,900 points to include Royal Menagerie and the Chalice of Ushoran as my endless spell. So I'm also taking a Charnel Throne, which is what the Archregent is standing on. So the Charnel Throne allows a Ghoul King and an Abhorrent Archregent within 1 inch to use their Summon the Imperial Guard and Summon Men-at-Arms command abilities. So it doesn't function on Abhorrent Ghoul Kings on Terrorgeist and Zombie Dragons. It doesn't give them a free usage of it, but for the Ghoul King and the Archregent on foot, both of them can come up and use a command point for free without actually spending one to summon, as long as they're within 1 inch. And it acts as inspiring and sinister to enemy, or inspiring to me and sinister to enemies within 1 inch. So that's pretty cool. But it has to deploy within 12 inches of table edge and wholly within your own territory, so it is hard to stay around it and still be able to like successfully play the game and compete with your opponent. If your opponent is in your face to the point that you rely on being within 1 inch of it, then, well, you're having problems anyways. So with mount traits, going kind of backwards here, so the Abhorrent Ghoul King on Zombie Dragon is going to have the Razor Clawed command, or Zombie Dragon trait. So this improves the Rend characteristic of this mount's melee weapons by 1, making his bite attacks at Rend 3 and his claw attacks at Rend 2, which is going to be nice, especially against Blight Kings. The spell lores for the day is my Abhorrent Archregent is going to know Blood Feast. Casting value is 7. A successfully cast, you pick an enemy unit within 12 inches of the caster that is visible to them, and a friendly Flesh Eater Courts unit within 6 inches of that enemy unit. The enemy unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. If the casting roll is a natural 10 or more, the enemy, well, actually it doesn't say that. If the casting roll was 10 or more, the enemy unit suffers D6 mortal wounds instead of D3 mortal wounds, which is amazing. That might get FAQ to include it must be a natural dice roll of 10, but until then, I guess you can modify it. So the other spell that I'm going to know from Lore of Madness is going to be on my Abhorrent Ghoul King on Zombie Dragon, and he's going to know Bone Storm. So if you guys know what Bone Storm is from a point of reference, it's from Lord Marigar and Icecrown Citadel. So I know a few of my friends over on the Facebook community and stuff like that from the Age of Sigmar Flesh Eater Courts fan groups. A lot of you guys have played World of Warcraft back in the day. and I played World of Warcraft religiously for years, and that's why I fought Lord Marigar many a time. If any of you guys used to play on the server of Thunderlord, I used to be the best in-slot Night Elf Death Knight and the best in-slot Dwarf Hunter on the server for quite a few, well, maybe like 2 years, I think I was. So I used to be a bit of a WoW addict, so that's that. Anyways, moving on from Bone Storm. So basically what that does is cast value 5. Every enemy unit within 12 inches is going to get hit with it, and you roll a dice. On a 2-up, that unit suffers just 1 mortal wound. So it's kind of nice, especially for him, because he's going to be playing aggressive. So that's it for spells. The artifacts, I'm going to go kind of backwards here, and I'll explain the one that's on my Ghoul King in just a second, because it's Gristlegore. So with my abhorrent Archregent, the second artifact in the army list is going to go to him, and that's going to be the Dermal Robe, which is basically a flayed skin of a powerful sorcerer that then the Archregent kind of picked up and just wrapped around himself. Interesting. I would love to green stuff some flayed skin to go around, that'd be cool. So add 1 to casting, dispelling, and unbinding rolls for the bearer of this artifact. So that's going to be very useful for him. Moving on to the Gristlegore Grand Court to explain you guys all that juiciness, because I didn't really have time to in the last battle report. So, I know this is really long, bear with me here. So, the Artifact of Power that has to go to the first hero to be awarded an artifact is going to be my Ghoul King, and he's going to have the Gurish Maw Shard. So, once per battle, at the start of the combat phase, I pick one enemy model within 1 inch of the bearer and roll a dice. If the roll is greater than that model's wound characteristic, that model is slain. So against Blight Kings, that's going to be real difficult because I need a 5-up. And against Plague Bearers over there, that'll be really sweet and juicy because on a 2-up, I just swallow one. But it's only a Plague Bearer. They're not too difficult to remove anyways. So that's kind of besides the point. The command trait for Gristlegore General is Savage Strike. So this general fights at the start of the combat phase before the player picks any other units to fight in that combat phase. This general cannot fight again in the combat phase unless an ability or spell allows it to fight more than once. So, the real juicy part of this command trait is because the way it is worded and the way the combat phase is worded is whenever he is forced to fight before we can even choose who gets to activate first, he fights immediately. You Feeding Frenzy him, he fights a second time, then he's done. After that, if I'm the active player, I get to choose a Flesh Eater Courts unit to fight because it then becomes straight up, I get to activate somebody, and since I didn't activate him, it doesn't count. So that would mean I get to activate another unit right after him, which basically means I can get up to 4 combats with 2 different units in the same activation, more or less. So basically the ability with that would go over to like maybe a Terrorgeist pile in, fight, Feeding Frenzy him if he can get Feeding Frenzied, and he'd fight again. That's a synergy with that Gristlegore command trait and the Feeding Frenzy command ability. The other command ability that comes specific with Gristlegore is the Call to War command ability. So if a friendly hero or Gristlegore monster dies in the combat phase, whilst it is wholly within 12 inches or of a Gristlegore hero or 18 inches of a friendly Gristlegore hero that is a general, you can use this command ability in the combat phase. If you do so, before that model is removed from play, it can make a pile-in move and then attack with all the melee weapons it is armed with. And you cannot pick the same unit to benefit from this same command ability more than once. So basically that's if you're really outnumbered and you're really outgunned in a fight and they do manage to kill one of your monsters or your hero before he gets to do anything, you can use that command ability on another nearby hero onto him to make him fight before he dies. Pretty useful. Now the overall ability that is really good for Gristlegore is called Peerless Ferocity. So if the unmodified hit roll for an attack made by a Gristlegore hero or Gristlegore monster is 6, that attack inflicts 2 hits on the target instead of 1. Make a wound and save roll for each hit. So basically what this means, before anybody gets too excited about Gristlegore, for Terrorgeist, the way rolls that, I forget what it's specifically described as in the core rulebook, but I already looked at it to make sure. So I've known this for a while, but I just wanted to double check. So the way exploding attacks is what we refer to them as here locally, and I'm sure plenty of people do that too. Exploding dice is basically if you hit something like on a 6 for the Gaping Maw to go off, that ability triggers on that dice roll. If you get another ability on top of it that causes 2 hits on that same hit roll, you don't get that ability twice. So the Terrorgeist, if you roll a 6, that 6 doesn't trigger another 6 and cause an immediate 12 mortal wounds. It's 6 mortal wounds, and then that dice goes away because of the way his ability is worded. But that second dice that comes up from the original 6 from Peerless Ferocity is able to be used and wounded with, but it doesn't count as 6 mortal wounds. It's like a normal hit roll if he didn't have a Gaping Maw rule. So pretty good. I know some people were disappointed in that, but that's just how the rules are. Otherwise, that would be pretty insane. So, yeah, that's it for Gristlegore. I don't really have anything else to explain in this army. I'm pretty sure I have talked my head off to the point of explaining everything. Oh, besides Royal Menagerie, taking a step back. So the Royal Menagerie War Squirrel Battalion is 3 Royal Terrorgeist or Zombie Dragons in any combo. 3 or more, that is. So in your hero phase, you can heal up to D3 wounds allocated to each model from this battalion that is within 5 inches of any other models from the same battalion. So the Zombie Dragon and the 2 Terrorgeist will stick relatively close to each other at all times to benefit from that to heal. This Terrorgeist already healed, but the Zombie Dragon doesn't, so he's going to need a little bit more help. And that's it for my army list. So I am very excited to play this. So, finally done explaining, so we're going to jump straight over to Ed and let him explain his Maggotkin of Nurgle, and yeah.
Hey guys, it's still the same army as the last time. A unit of Blight Cyst, and a Great Unclean One, and a bunch of Plague Bearers over here. I kind of moved things around because some artifacts were not working correctly the last time, so here's how we're going to go and do it now. The Great Unclean One is still going to be my general, but he's going to have the Tome of 1,000 Poxes, which will give him +1 to casting rolls if he's a wizard. If not, then he can just cast Sumptuous Pestilence. He will still have the Grandfather's Blessing trait, and his spell is still Glorious Afflictions. My Harbinger of Decay will now have the Wither Stave, and the Lord of Plagues, which is not a part of the Blight Cyst, will have nothing. And that's it for my army. It's 1940, so I get to start with a command point in addition to a battalion. Okay?
Alright.
That's it.
And Ed and me already talked off camera. He'll post a link in the comment section of how to get these cards made the way you want them. And yeah, that'll be it. So I'm going to choose, since I finished first, I'm going to choose to let you go first.
Okay.
Alright, and we'll see you guys in just a moment when we start the game. Alright everybody, into the turn 1 for Maggotkin. There was no shooting, and that's it. So basically all that happened was Ed ran up everything here into the middle of the board. He's standing on the objective with a whole bunch of Blight Kings right now, and he summoned up a second Feculent Gnarlmaul, and his heroes are all kind of in this general vicinity right here. His Plague Bearers and his hero have all moved up over there, but not enough to control that objective just yet, thankfully. But I'm pretty sure he does have this one, because I'm pretty sure there's at least one hero in that big conglomeration there that's within 3 of the objective. And that's it. So, it's going to be a little hard to maneuver around the Gnarlmauls now, because I didn't expect a second one to pop up right in front of me. But,
good dice rolls.
Yeah, but that's it for Ed's first turn, so we're going to go straight into turn 1 for Flesh Eater Courts. Alright everybody, at the end of Flesh Eater Courts turn 1, probably the worst turn I've ever had with this army, so I charged in. I've only killed 4 Blight Kings in total. I failed both my charges here with both my monsters. I did manage to get in with my Vargwolf, my Terrorgeist, and my Ghoul King on Zombie Dragon, and the Ghoul King on Zombie Dragon missed a lot of his attacks because of the Wither Stave artifact on that Harbinger of Decay, making him re-roll all 6s to hit, so that basically negated my army bonus for running Gristlegore. And I got dropped down to 1 wound from all the Blight Kings. The Terrorgeist got dropped down to 7, and the Vargwolf got dropped down to 7 as well, and that's it. So, not a very good turn. So, the Harbinger of Decay barely survived, though. He's only got 2 or 3 wounds left. So, we're going to go straight now into rolling on for the next turn 2. So, I get a 4.
4.
And you go first.
Okay, yep.
Alright, looks like the Ghoul King's gonna have some serious amount of trouble. So, yeah. Right, guys, at the end of turn 2 for Maggotkin of Nurgle, a unit of Blight Kings managed to move over and charge into the Terrorgeist and the Ghouls. The Terrorgeist, using my last command point, managed to use Feeding Frenzy, fought twice, completely annihilated that unit of Blight Kings. The Blight Kings over here, though, and the Lord of Plagues all got piled into the Vargulf and the Terrorgeist. The Terrorgeist has 1 wound left. The Vargulf, unfortunately, had to die, and that's really all that happened. And the Ghoul King got killed at the very start of the turn from being vomited on by the Blight Kings. So that's embarrassing for him, but oh well. Ripperoni, pepperoni, my friend. So that's it. So going in turn 2 for Flesh Eater Courts. Okay, guys, recap for Flesh Eater Courts on turn 2. That went fantastically well on turn 2. So my Terrorgeist managed to charge in, and I used Feeding Frenzy on him to make him activate and fight twice. He did a lot of damage to the Great Unclean One, dropped him down to 1, and then used his second activation to fight the Blight King unit and the Lord of Plagues, and he killed the Lord of Plagues and one of the Blight Kings. The Zombie Dragon managed to finish off that Great Unclean One. 20 ghouls activated, lost 5 of their number in return, but did manage to kill 1 or 2 of the Blight Kings. And then the 1 wound Terrorgeist managed to fight back, killed 1.5 Blight Kings, and then he blew up, did 3 mortal wounds to everybody within 3. He killed 3 of his own compatriots over there, and then killed another Blight King and another Blight King. And that's the end of the turn. So that's it for turn 2, and we're gonna get ready for turn 3. Right, so we'll roll off.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first.
Narwhal and stuff like that.
Here, let's do this quick. So.
Hey guys, at the end of turn 3 now for Flesh Eater Courts, Ed's going to go ahead and concede. So basically all that happened was I have the Terrorgeist and the Zombie Dragon both blitz over here, drop the Plague Bearers down to, what, 8 guys left, and then the Lord of Plagues, or Blights, whatever, is all Ed has left. And did some off camera because Ed has to leave, and so we went ahead and sped it up. Did a few things off camera to like get the unimportant stuff out of the way first, and carried on. So I ended up winning there at the end. That was really rough in the beginning. I was real nervous when I lost the Ghoul King, because as you guys know, if you lose your Zombie Dragon Ghoul King in a Gristlegore list, like, you're going to be hurting very early on, which Ed did a great job of killing him. So that's it. That was an excellent game. It was certainly close. The Chalice came in big clutch, healing 8 damage onto the Zombie Dragon, and then Royal Menagerie coming in big clutch for him too. And that's it. So the Chalice, beyond useful if you guys get it, and yeah, and killing the Harbinger of Decay definitely did it. Thanks for the game, Ed. And yeah, that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's crazy to see how much the game changed when the Harbinger of Decay died. And plus, I was rolling really bad in the beginning, and that really soured my mood, because I was like, man, I'm already getting stomped, and I'm trying to make a great debut game for this Battletome. But I actually ended up pulling it back. So, sadly, the Ghoul King isn't going to see the end of this battle, but this Terrorgeist here, he definitely deserves a promotion. In fact, and the Zombie Dragon deserves a promotion too. That's the most I've ever seen them do in a single game. So if you guys want to name the Terrorgeist and the Zombie Dragon, leave a comment below and let me know what you want to name him. And you guys can name him on the channel and forever be remembered. So that's it for this battle. And it was a really good game, and that's it. So I will see you guys in the next video. Just so you guys know, the next video you might see might be a 3 versus 3 or 4 versus 4 of 2,500 points a player playing in an Apocalypse-style match of Age of Sigmar. And it's going to be absolutely huge. So I'm going to get that filmed this Saturday, and you guys might see that maybe like Sunday or Monday next week. Depends on how busy I am. And I'll get it out to you guys when I can. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you guys in the next video. And thank you so much for all love and support, and we'll see you guys next time.